Prime Minister Modi marked Diwali by celebrating with the Border Security Force, the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force personnel at Lakki Nala in Sir Creek area in Gujarat's Kutch, continuing his tradition of celebrating the festival with India's armed forces. Prime Minister Modi visited the BSF outpost along the Pakistan border, interacting with soldiers and sharing Diwali greetings. Since coming to power in 2014, Prime Minister Modi has made it a tradition to celebrate Diwali with military personnel at various locations in the country. Each year, Prime Minister Modi visits military facilities where he interacts with the troops and celebrates the festival. The message that the Prime Minister has given now, after around 11 years of continuing his tradition, is that Diwali is for Jawans. Now, the big question that comes to mind is, should all chief ministers focus on the same and celebrate Diwali with our soldiers? We'll talk about this and a lot more with our guests. Joining us on the show is Major General Rajan Kochar, defence expert. Major General Sudhakar Ji, defence expert, also joins us on the program. Mr. Sumit Peer, political commentator, here with us on the show as well. Last but by no means the least, Advocate Manasvi Thapar, political analyst, also joins us on the program. Happy Diwali to all of you. Sumit Peer, I'll start with you. Well, you know, it's not only impressive what the Prime Minister has consistently, incessantly done for the past 11 years, but Sumit, this also goes on to show you what the priorities of this government and the Prime Minister has been. You know, he just concluded a speech which we all heard, in which he said that, you know, for all families, millions and billions of families in the country, to celebrate Diwali, it is very, very important that the man who's guarding the wall, who's on the outpost, looking out for the enemy and making sure that this side of the wall is safe, is the utmost important to him. What kind of a profound message has the Prime Minister given with this kind of a message? And at the same time, let's also keep, you know, this big disengagement that has happened with China in the last few days, Sumit.
Vineet, thank you for having me on your show. A very happy Republic to you, all your team at NewsX, all the panelists and all the viewers. Always a pleasure. Look, there are a lot of first things what Prime Minister Modi has done. The most important thing is he has changed the paradigm of the politics. He has changed the expectations from a politician, and he has also changed the benchmark of a politician. I mean, that is the biggest credit which goes. What you are seeing is only one part of his personality, which you're highlighting today. And I think if we go into another week, there will be another part of his personality which we have to talk about. The most important thing which Prime Minister Modi did from day one, he was focused on DRDO, focus on army, make Bharat Atmanirbhar, make Bharat a nuclear triad, and give army and forge the recognition, the place which they rightly deserve. Because it's very clear, Vineet, we have seen 1000 years of Islamic onslaught. We have seen Hazar Sal of Gloomy, I will quote the Prime Minister. And today, if we are free and you and me are breathing and we are celebrating the festival around us, it is because of these great men and the two most eminent, you know, intellectuals who are on our panel, who happen to be from the army. Namaskar, a special namaskar to them. People like them who have been always guarding us, and because of their people and their men who ensure you and me are having a free life. Look at the world around you. Look at the plight of Hindus in Bangladesh. Look at Pakistan. Look in Afghanistan. Look at everywhere in the world. Where is the Hindu civilization? Where is the Sabhyata? Sabhyata and civilization are simply mercilessly eroded and slaughtered. If the Sabhyata and civilization is surviving here, it is the big thanks goes to army. And it is the Prime Minister Modi who came up with one rank, one pension. It is the Prime Minister Modi who talked about, you know, we don't have to import these items. It is the Prime Minister Modi who talks of defense corridors, making defense production. It's under the Prime Minister Modi we're talking about exporting now the defense arsenal. Atmanirbhar Bharat, make in India, spares in India. You know, the amount of money we have spent on the military, though that is less, we need to spend much more. These are a lot of things which Prime Minister Modi has initiated, and this commitment is very sure. He wants to spend Deepavali with the most important constituent which keeps Bharat intact. It's not you, it's not me, it's not anybody else. It's that 4G, it's that men who are carrying a Kalashnikov and war on the border. If you look at this area, it's a very hostile area and it's not easy to go there. But look at our men who are there, who are out even at Siachen at minus 50 degrees Celsius. Do you think these people just work for some 40,000 rupees of salary? No. It is the Bharat, it is that is in their sweat and blood. That emotion for India, that love for Bharat Mata, that, you know, honor we are guarding the Bharat and Bharat Mata, that is what keeps us alive and kicking. Otherwise, we need surviving on minus 50 degrees or plus 50, 60 degrees is not a cup of tea and you get some 30, 40, 50,000 as a salary. Nobody does it for that. This is a very, very important message. The army, the forge needs that recognition, and there's a lot of work which has to be done. I think in last 11 years, we have achieved a lot, but I think, sir, there is still a lot to be done. And when you talk of the disengagement, well, I'm optimally conscious about it. I hope and pray it stays. But knowing the character of China, I don't think you can touch much about it. What you say about China is hope for the best, exchange Diwali greetings, but keep your gunpowder dry. That is a clear message vis-a-vis China. You can trust Pakistan for a fraction of a second. In my opinion, if you want to take a nanosecond and trust China, well, that doesn't happen. What he is reiterating again, we can talk peace, we can talk disengagement, but the focus is army, the focus is Sena, the focus is Sanibal and Shastrabal, and that is the only way which can keep the country intact. We have hostile neighbors everywhere, and there are a lot of people who are trying to break the country within India and out of India. I mean, again, I'm quoting the Honorable Prime Minister. It's not my aspersions which I'm casting. With these challenges, we need, as long as our borders are secured, we might have 50 problems within the country, we'll be able to manage them. But if the invaders come and you see the slaughter and the mayhem they have caused in the past, the destructions they have caused in the past, look at the history. If we will be intact and we will be one piece till the time this country has the most powerful army in the whole world, we should not be happy with the fourth powerful army. We have to strive to make it the most powerful army in this world. And army is your guarantee, sir. Army is your guarantee of civilization, sabhyata, sanatan, and the country as such. There's no army, a weak army, consider yourself to be gone.
Absolutely. Manasvi, what do you make of the Prime Minister's consistent message? What do you make of his consistent dedication, to being with the soldier, to being with, the army personnel who are not able to enjoy Diwali with their family, and there are millions of them spread across our borders. And Sumit made a very, very right point that, India is a unique country where, there's a separation between the army, there's a separation between the government. If you look at our neighbors and our adversaries, especially Pakistan and China, the role of the army and the role of the government is not as lucid as you get to see in India. Do you think that the Prime Minister has worked very hard in establishing that distinction?
Not only the Prime Minister of today, but all the Prime Ministers have worked hard. But one thing which this Prime Minister Narendra Modi, we have to give it to him is in the last 11 years, he has spent the Diwali with them, and he has brought this particular feeling which Sumit Bhai said, and we are discussing on this, that these people are spending their Diwalis so that we in and around the border, so we can peacefully spend it in our homes with our family. So this particular feeling has been brought by the Prime Minister. You can't take away that from him. But I would not say that would be too much, and that would be taken from our ancestral Prime Ministers, the last 13 Prime Minister before this Prime Minister. They have not done, they've done too little for the army. That is not the case. Yes, in terms of Diwali optics, in terms of celebrating with the army men, I think it's a great thing. I think that is something which all the future Prime Ministers should also do, because it's a reminder. It's a conscious reminder to the citizens of this country. Yes, we are safe because they are protecting us. We are celebrating because they are not celebrating. It is that reminder, and that we should not forget at any cost. It becomes very easy for us to communicate, sit in our AC offices and speak whatever we have to. But with the challenges they spend, I don't think that we are capable enough उनका ऋण हम निकाल पाएं, कभी भी दे पाएं. So that's the kind of feeling which citizens should have, and we are completely obligated by that. And I think this particular debate would not have happened if Prime Minister would not have been consistent. And this is because of the Prime Minister that we are debating it. I don't feel that this is a debate. We are celebrating it. I think we all would be on the same page on that particular front, because whatever the army men since last 75 years and more are doing it, but bringing it on an auspicious day of Deepavali, that's a great thing that the country is talking about it. Yes, we are celebrating it. Yes, we want to take our country forward. Yes, we are celebrating it because of those bunch of people who are protecting us. We are sleeping because they are awake. So that kind of feeling has to be brought up. One particular day, which is the most important day for Indians, is Deepavali. And on that particular day, consistently, a particular person known as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is celebrating that Diwali. So it hits us. When the most important person of the country, the first citizen of the country in terms of the electoral politics is there, the entire media covers it up, the entire social media covers it up, and we are debating on it. I think that's the great step towards awakening that we are there because of them, and Prime Minister is a catalyst of bringing that feeling in our country, and I don't take that away from him. I don't take that away that our previous prime ministers have not done enough. I don't take that away also. I think it's a great day. It's a great celebration. I think this should continue. ये प्रथा जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी ने एस्टैब्लिश की है, I think all the future prime ministers should continue this. It's a great thing. We should celebrate something which is done great by this prime minister, and we should continue this. There is no two ways about it.
Valid point. And General Kocher, taking a leaf out of what Manasvi said, that, of course, the prime ministers in the past have also done similar things. Will it be right to say that when it comes to consistency and the loudness and the authenticity of the message, Prime Minister Modi has laid it out the best?
Thank you, Vineet, for bringing me into this debate. And first of all, I want to wish you and all your viewers a very, very happy Diwali, and as well as our esteemed panelists here. Very pertinent points have actually emerged from the two speakers who have just spoken. It's very important for the political establishment to show their solidarity with the armed forces. And when a prime minister of a nation visits units which are deployed in the field, and I want to highlight this word field because it's a place where very difficult conditions are there. The Prime Minister has been to Siachen, he has been to Kargil, he has been to Ladakh, he has been to Himachal, he has been to all those areas, and his selection of areas is impeccable. He always decides to visit the soldiers who are deployed on the border. And the run of Kutch is a very, very strong border area with Pakistan, almost 3,300 kilometers of border. And it has a history. 1965 war, when the Operation Desert Hawk was launched by the Pakistanis. And thereafter in 1971, when the Bhuj airfield was attacked and it was damaged, and the resilience of our men, how the airfield was repaired, and how the attacks of the MiG-21s were launched from there. So it has a history, and it's very heartening to see our Prime Minister visiting these areas, and especially the men feel a great morale booster when a Prime Minister of a country takes out time from his busy schedule. He has been touring all over, and I think again he would be moving to Laos or some other place as per his schedule. So if he spends a few moments with the forces, they feel that there is a sense of camaraderie which a political leader is trying to establish with the men in the uniform. And it's extremely important for their morale because they are far away from their families. Every citizen of India today is celebrating Diwali with his loved one, but it is our soldiers on the borders, right from Ladakh onwards to Jammu and Kashmir, onwards to Rajasthan and Punjab and all these areas, that he is not with his family, but still he has a smile on his face. Still he is able to celebrate the festival with the same fervor as being done by the rest of the citizens of the country. So it's a strong message, and the Prime Minister is bringing this message home. And my last point, which you had started your discussion about the chief ministers, should the chief ministers also try to emulate? My one word answer is yes, because they also have borders in their respective states, and especially I would like to mention the chief ministers of the border states. And it is extremely essential because most of our men who are positioned here, and especially the border states, have a large proportion of people who have joined the army. And especially if we talk about Haryana, if we talk about Punjab, and we talk about these two, Himachal, these are the states, Uttaranchal, these are the states where maximum soldiers are emanating from. And if a chief minister of one of these states also starts this practice, I think it will go a long way in the building up the morale of our soldiers on the border. And I feel that what the Prime Minister is doing is a wonderful job. I think the previous regime, we did not see such regular visits of the Prime Minister. Here it is like a ritual that on every festival, especially Diwali, the Prime Minister of our country, Modi ji, is there with our men, and he's speaking to them, and he's assuring to them that their welfare, their trust in the political leadership will be maintained at all times. Vineet.
General Sudhakar ji, in fact, last year as well, we were discussing how the Prime Minister has consistently proven a point, and in the backdrop of whatever has happened with China and what continues to happen in Bangladesh and Pakistan as well, it's a mark of a good leader, General Sudhakar ji, and a mark of a good politician, to keep the most important agency, to keep the most important faculty upbeat and encouraged. And that's exactly what the Prime Minister has been able to do.
Absolutely, Vinit. Good evening. Thank you for getting me to your show. And happy Diwali to everyone. Compliments to the previous co-panelists. Well, to respond to the preamble which you have outlined for me, a couple of years back, I was in Johannes Airport. I was coming out and I saw a huge billboard. On the top of the billboard, it had the picture of Nelson Mandela, and below the picture, there was a quotation which said that successful leaders lead from the front. And below that quotation was a picture, a flock of sheep being herded by a shepherd from behind. And below that picture, right at the bottom of the billboard, it said that the effective leaders lead from behind. Here is an example. You see, while all other places, the whole world may have been polarized and militarized, there are wars all over, from Central Europe to the Middle East. Here is Prime Minister of our country undertaking travels. I mean, just consider his age. Traveling is not that easy. The painstaking effort our leader is making, it actually he justifies and meets all the parameters of a successful leader, leading from the front as also an effective leader. That is the point I wish to make. But allow me, Vinit, if you have time, I would like to allude to a couple of issues. In addition to what General Kutch has said, I would personally, having read his book, he wrote a beautiful book. I was traveling also, not like the Prime Minister, but like an advisor to one of the banking sectors, Breaking the Chinese Myth. And that book alluded to many things. One of the things which he had said today, indirectly although, I would go a step further to answer your first question, whether the chief ministers of the state should go and visit the troops along the border. Why along the border? In the hinterland also, you have armed forces. The veterans, the retired soldiers, they are a huge, I would say, a group of people who have the potential to contribute to the nation building in a significant manner. I personally feel the nation is not harnessing the potential that I myself am a veteran. General Rajan Kocheri is also a veteran. And so each one of us has got something, even after retirement, to contribute. So therefore, the chief ministers, rather than doing pinpricking and carrying out avoidable loss of time and wasting time on unnecessary issues, it's time that we understand the plot and the plan of the enemy, how they are going all out. It's a global conspiracy to divide India. Now, coming to the next point is, why is our Prime Minister on a ritualistic kind of a visit? He is a man, he is a visionary, he's been able to see where he wants to see the nation a couple of years from now. Perhaps from the independent India, for the first time, as a student of geopolitics and strategy and military, I personally feel very proud that we have a political dispensation led by Mr. Narendra Modi without being affiliated to any party. I am neither BJP nor Congress. I am a soldier. My party is the national interest. I personally feel this man is taking absolutely, I would say, beyond call of the duty steps and making that extra mile effort to reach out to the the last point, the last Jawan, to encourage him, to motivate him, and to tell him that you man, I am there with you, the whole nation is with you, and it is not for today. It is the nation thinking about 25, 40, 50 years ahead. We are planning for everything that you need. We will give you everything that you require. Here is a visionary leader in our present Prime Minister. Next is that every statement of a Prime Minister I have heard is that he is talking about the capability enhancement. Maybe most of us who are not aware of the military jargons and the parlance, we may actually miss the point. The capability enhancement which the Honorable Prime Minister is trying to elude and convey to the people requires a long-term gestation period. It is not that you think about today to produce XYZ aircraft, it comes out tomorrow morning. It takes a good 35 years of cyclic phase of conceiving the idea, carrying out research and development, putting right money at the right place at the right time, and having your skilled labor developed, and is preparing the nation for that kind of a status by 2047 or earlier than that. And also he is conveying that with capability enhancement we require an ecosystem to support the nation. What is that ecosystem? We have the largest youth bulge. They may have been educated, but are they skilled enough? So therefore the skilling is required. Therefore, we have gone in for a collaborative effort with Germany. Germany is the country which has got the maximum percentage of skilled labor. Next is also he's conveying to the entire, not only India, but our neighbors, that friend, that diplomacy and dialogue, what I have been talking for past several, maybe 1 or 2 years, or ever since the Russia-Ukraine war, has finally been vindicated with China. Strategic patience is one thing which our Honorable Prime Minister has conveyed to the hilt. He says you have to have patience. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust your vision and the steps that you people are thinking that you should be having. Therefore, with a person like Xi Jinping, if we have struck a chord, it is not that India required this as much as the China. Maybe China was requiring a thaw with India as early as possible or faster than India expected. I think both the parties, there is a win-win kind of a position now. What happens hereafter is a maturity and responsibility to be exercised, not only by the political leaders, but down the chain in the hierarchy at every level.
All right. We have a paucity of time. We have a paucity of time. Sumit, quickly, I saw your hand go up. You wanted to make a point. Go ahead.
Vinay, that's very rightly said. Only power can ensure peace. If you want peace, you have to be always prepared for war. These are the two golden things, and that is what India is constantly working on. Look, if you have a look at Israel, you need an army at the end of the day. Look at what is happening in Russia. They have all the weapons in the world, but what they are lacking on is the army. They have called reserves twice. So the challenge here is that when you want to have a peaceful economy, when you have to have a peaceful civilization in a society, there's one thing which you must always remember, as all Indians, 1.4 billion Indians, is that only army is the insurance of the existence of this country. If there is a weak army, if there's an army which is not equipped to the best, and the army which is not modernizing itself properly, and we are not giving them more and more budget for capital expansion and all, we have hostile neighbors everywhere. Look, we have problems with Bangladesh, there are problems with China, we don't know how they will erupt. In Pakistan, in Sargoda Air Base, they are upgrading all the missile silos, and visibly they are upgrading all the underground bunkers. And that is as per state satellite imagery, and we know about it. And I don't know, is China asking them to do? Who is doing that? Now we have problems in Myanmar, we don't have a very friendly regime in Sri Lanka. So look at the things around us. The only insurance which we have, and the only thing which Prime Minister Modi is reminding the people, very silently but very effectively, जब तक ये लोग खड़े हैं तब तक आप लोग पीछे जीवित हो या खड़े हो. So for them, they are the most important people. And on the day of Deepavali, how more do you reiterate to the people that army is, what is their relevance and importance of army? Look, when push comes to shove, if there are, if there's a need of the hour, these are the people who are going to defend you. And Indian army as an institution has always delivered, Vineet. They have never failed to deliver you, and they will keep on delivering you. Yes, there are challenges. Yes, there are practical problems, and we have hostilities of India are unfortunately, because of our economic progress and assertive foreign policy, are increasing. So with these increasing hostilities, our adversary joining hands, I don't know what China is brewing. Honestly, I have no idea what China is brewing. I think whom China is trying to rally. They might be trying to rally a couple of our hostile neighbors and trying to do something. That is what my sources tell me, but I don't know how far it is true. But we can't, with these practical challenges.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.